Yo, 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 we back with a reacts. And tonight we are gonna watch another clip by Piers Morgan. It is him interviewing this girl that has met Andrew Tate and has gone out with him multiple times. She didn't actually date him. I've seen the video of her talking. Is the only reason why I know. She made a whole video on her own channel of her telling like when she first met him and how he was really a gentleman to her and he never tried to force anything on her, and he walked to her car and was just a real nice gentleman. And after about 3 or 4 times of hanging out, they still didn't fuck and this and that, and just about how nice of a guy he is, and how bad the perception of him is compared to reality. And yeah. So let's get into it. He is kind and generous. Women defends Andrew Tate's character. If he just calls her woman like she isn't a fucking, like she don't got a fucking name, that's so fucked up. just to fit Andrew Tate's name in the fucking title.
That. Joining me now, our political journalist Ava Santino and talk TV contributor Esther Krakow. Also, welcome back to Piers Morgan Uncensored. Andrew Tate is banned from social media with videos about many women, but when exactly does free speech become hate speech, and who should get to decide that? Joining me now, our political journalist Ava Santino and talk TV contributor Esther Krakow, author and podcaster and friend of Andrew Tate, Leah Halpern, and Times columnist Hugo Rifkin. Hugo, let me start with you. Thank you for joining the show. I read your big Times interview with this guy, Andrew Tate. I found it very interesting because I knew I was going to interview him on television shortly afterwards. And what I was struck by was that although you were pretty outraged by some of the stuff he said and done and found it personally pretty offensive, you didn't really seem to be able to conclude that he'd really crossed a line that deserved the punishment he's received in terms of social media wipeout. Would that be a fair categorization?
Yes, I wasn't convinced because I'm not quite sure what debate we're having here. It seems a given to me that there would be no place for Andrew Tate on a normal conventional media outlet. They're not going to give him your show. They're not going to give him my show on Times Radio. That wouldn't happen. But it raises the question of whether we think that these tech companies, Instagram, Facebook, companies like that, ought to be being held to the same standards as traditional media. If we think they should be, then obviously he has no place in them. If we think they're actually more of a much more free arena where things that we might find in other places unacceptable are in fact acceptable there, then it becomes a whole different debate. And that's a debate we haven't quite settled, I think.
Right, because I mean, to me, it's like when Trump got removed from Twitter and Facebook and so on. If you're going to let the Ayatollah of Iran continue to have active accounts on these platforms,
Facts.
I don't see the consistency in banning a president of the United States or indeed someone like Andrew Tate.
They just trying to dig up their audience. They know that their TV show's going downhill. They know the internet's killing them, and they know that their fucking time on this television network is limited. I'm surprised that people will even have jobs in television anymore. I know that old people still watch it, but it's just like it's mind blowing to me. It really is crazy. People still watch this shit whenever you could watch anything you fucking want on the internet. But yeah, they're just trying to dog social media to make them look like the demons, so they can keep their fucking 60-year-old viewers watching.
Yeah, I mean that's quite fair. You've also got to accept that look, huge numbers of people wanted to watch him. Huge numbers of people wanted to listen to him. He's very, very good at what he does. In an earlier age, there were people like Andrew Tate who put out cassettes and CDs, or were on various forms of pirate radio. They had huge audiences. The audiences are much huger now. And they are, and much less policed. They have much greater inroads, people like Tate, into teenagers, for example. So it raises whole new questions, whole new issues. I'm not always convinced that just banning them is quite the right answer, but then I'm not sure I'd quite like to be making that call myself.
Right, I think that's a really good point. Leah Halpern, you're in.
They politicked around that question like some fucking congressman. They did it. What the fuck did he even answer right there? He said, I kind of do agree with it, and I kind of don't agree with it. That's pretty much all that he fucking said right there.
Miami, you know Andrew Tate. You've been to his home in Romania. You know his brother. What kind of guy is he? I mean, many people who don't know much about him will hear some of the stuff he's been saying, which I play to him and challenge him on in the interview, and they'll be horrified. But what do you think?
When is he gonna upload that? It's been like 2 days. Is he gonna ever upload the full fucking clip, or am I just dumb and I haven't found the actual page that he uploads on.
An incredibly intelligent man. I think what he's doing is very important. Right now there's a huge war on masculinity. Men don't really have any kind of role model that they can look up to. Andrew has been very kind and very generous with me. Like I said, I know him personally. I also know him from a business standpoint. I've spent time with him one-on-one. I've never felt uncomfortable. He's never been inappropriate with me. A lot of people accuse him of misogyny. He's never been misogynistic towards me. And I think what he's doing is incredibly important.
And all the fucking feminists, the fucking bitches that just hate men, all of them are gonna be like, oh, he's behind her holding her to her head. Oh, I see she's has a teleprompter that she has to read, or some dumb shit. Or like, oh, he brainwashed her, or some stupid shit.
Okay, Ava Santino, your view of this. I mean, just from the exchange we just put a preview of, where he says he prefers 18, 19-year-old women to 25-year-olds. I think you're 25, aren't you? But you know, when he generalizes about 25-year-old women in the really, I thought, pretty repulsive manner that he did in public, I think that is misogyny, actually, because he's branding a whole category of women in a very offensive way.
I think it's close to misogyny. I think it's actually more looking at women as objectively sexual objects, which...
It's his fucking preference. What are you all talking about? Everyone has a fucking preference. If you like fucking fat guys, then that's your fucking preference. That doesn't mean you hate skinny guys. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. How is he still on this whenever he had who knows how fucking long he talked to Andrew, but I'm sure it's at least a fucking hour, maybe 30 minutes, but still, how in the fuck do you still think he's a misogynist whenever that's all you kept saying and he kept on telling you, how is that misogyny? How is that misogyny? Just maybe, how is that misogyny? That's, that shit just made my fucking blood boil for some reason. You fucking ignorant asshole.
Apparently is misogynistic.
Oh my God.
Women. What he's essentially saying between those lines is that he wants some sort of virginal woman. Maybe that's why he takes this girl seriously. I don't know. But I mean...
Oh, she's gonna throw shade at her? All she said was he's nice, and they done nothing sexual. What the fuck are you talking about?
It kind of sounds a little bit like...
But he's, I mean, on the other side, he's allowed to. I mean, he can have these views. Does anything that he says, or the stuff that you've seen with him, does it cross a line where he deserves to be expunged from all social media, to be banished from the internet?
When you've got to look at the reaction that came off that, so the people who were duetting his videos or the people who were spreading his messages, when you've got 15-year-old boys espousing these sort of views where you're talking about women in purely sexual terms, and that has come from Andrew Tate.
You got 10-year-old kids on hormone blockers. You got fucking 7-year-old girls singing WAP. You got fucking toddlers twerking. What are y'all talking about? What the fuck are y'all talking about? That is the parents' fucking problem. I'm so tired of motherfuckers acting like it's fucking Andrew Tate's problem. No, it is not. What the? He even took accountability for something he shouldn't even taken accountability for. He said sorry for this shit, and he said that he will be wiser in the future whenever he talks, because he understands that even though parents should be watching them, they might not be. That shit's so fucking annoying. Y'all need to start talking about other shit, like all the fucking kids that are being brainwashed to change their fucking body or to sexualize themselves. Like that's the nasty part. He's telling men to stop fucking being bums and get shit done. What are y'all mad about? Because he said he likes 18 to 25-year-old women? Fucking Leonardo only goes to like 22 and then they're done.
And that's where the problem is.
What do you think?
I don't actually think that's a very fair assessment. He didn't say, oh, I only date 19-year-olds, I prefer. He was making the point, and he could have phrased it better, absolutely. But he's saying
that... Which he did concede, actually, later in the interview.
But the point he's making is, and he's a very intelligent guy, but he's saying
that... Which he did concede, actually, later in the interview.
But the point
did he say he conceded? My shit got a battery. Did he say he conceded? What the... No, he did not. He literally said, I'm not taking that back. I would not tell the woman sorry for saying that. When the fuck did he concede? Are you talking about how he said that he would word it better in the future? He's still not taking back his fucking point. He still means what he said.
He's making it, and he's a very intelligent guy, like Leah was saying, so he knows what he's doing when he's saying that. Obviously, he's got a massive reaction from it, so clearly it's worked. But the point is, he's saying that younger women who have had less experience with men in general are more desirable because they don't come with a certain amount of baggage. Now, you could say there are women that are more experienced that come with less baggage because they know what they want, or they're more mature mentally.
But my view is you shouldn't be talking about women in that generalized way at all.
A woman that knows what she wants to him is baggage. He does not want no woman coming in and changing his life because of how she wants it. He wants someone that'll come and give him fucking peace, and he'll give her the world. He does not want no woman that knows what the fuck she wants. That's the whole point. He doesn't want no woman to tell him what the fuck to do because he's done his whole fucking life, and look at where he is. Hundreds of millions of dollars. 4 kickbox championships. Fucking turned out to be the most Google man in the world and still being talked about even though he's banned. What are y'all on about?
Of any age group.
But
I mean,
people with those
I know a lot of 25-year-old women in my time. They're all very different. It's like the idea that you bracket them all in this revolting way, which he did, which is just a lad in the nightclub kind of way. It's fine, but
that's a generalization.
To do it with a big following, I think, is a malevolent influence.
And what is implied there is their sexual history. That is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But there are women that are 18 that have a more elaborate sexual history.
Well, let me ask Hugo. Hugo, you spent quite a lot of time with him.
He didn't say all 18 and 25. He said they're more likely to have less baggage. He said he gave out his opinion.
For your big interview for the Times, what did you actually make of him by the end? When you came away, what did you think of him?
Oh, we got on very well, but then we were two men sitting in his cigar room, bantering. You know, we had a good chat and a very honest chat. I mean, we had a very similar conversation to the conversation you're having at the moment. I think in different circumstances, I wouldn't have liked to introduce him to my wife. I wouldn't have liked to have to hang out with him with my female friends. I think that'd be intensely uncomfortable. But I noticed the way that at the moment, what we're doing, we're debating whether or not he's nice, whether or not the things he thinks are nice or right. What we're not debating is whether or not they should be allowed.
Right.
And I think it slightly worries me that we've drifted into thinking those are the same debate.
I agree. When did we already become the moral arbiters for whether people should be allowed a social media platform? I mean, let me go back to Leia. I mean, to me, you might find Andrew Tate's views offensive, unsavory, misogynist, as I did on some occasions with him, although he made some concessions in the interview.
No,
I'm not sure by the
prove
end
it, bro.
I can
Post the whole fucking interview. I would love to see that.
I'm not sure by the end that I concluded he'd done anything really so heinous he deserved the punishment he's got. That was my real conclusion, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I don't think he said anything wrong. I think all he's doing is talking about reality. And I don't think it's misogynistic to say you prefer a woman that's 18 versus 25.
Right.
It's literally just a sexual preference. It's the same reason
Yeah, but
why
that's
young
not,
women prefer older
just to
men.
jump in, I don't think...
Look at this. Look at the blonde bitch.
It's the same reason
Yeah, but
why
that's
young
not,
women prefer older
just to
men.
jump in, I don't think...
Yeah,
but I don't think that's the misogyny. I had this argument with my sons earlier when they saw the clip.
You don't? You don't? I wish I knew how to edit, bro. I'd add them fucking clips, but that's bullshit.
The misogyny isn't that he has a preference for girls of 18, 19, and 25. The misogyny is in the way he talks about every woman who's 25. As if they're all the same and they've all been through this tawdry background which he finds so distasteful. That's obviously ludicrous.
Well,
Preference.
I think he speaks with a lot of hyperbole. His goal was to go viral. Obviously, as Esther mentioned, not all 25-year-old women have been sleeping with every single man that they meet in a nightclub. So there's always exceptions. But I just think in general, a 25-year-old woman obviously has had more experience than an 18-year-old woman. And some men prefer that. Some men don't like that.
Bitch.
And I think that's completely fine. I think what really scares me is the censorship that we see online. On Twitter, there's actually porn on Twitter. You have terrorists on Twitter. And yet a man who's just talking about reality and the real dynamics between men and women.
You know what? I have to say, Leia, I think you make a good point. I think there
are
the Taliban have Twitter accounts. The Ayatollah of Iran, he's threatened to wipe out Israel, has a Twitter account. You know, Donald Trump doesn't, Andrew Tate doesn't. Why? You know, I can't really get a satisfactory response from these platforms. It's a very interesting debate, I think, to be had. We're going to run the full interview with Andrew Tate. Well, the whole thing will appear on YouTube by the end of the week. We're going to run a good hour of it later in the week. It is a fascinating watch, I have to say. And you might like him, you might hate him. But the real question is, should he be banned? Thank you to my panel. Thank you.
A good hour of it. I mean, they edited it. Man, I'm sure he's still fucking cooked, buddy, bro. That shit got me so mad I can't even talk right now. This motherfucker's ignorant. He literally sat down and he's still saying the same shit that Andrew Tate argued on. That's fucking insane to me. You're gonna show him not fucking concede and you're gonna sit here and say that he did. That's fucking insane to me. Oh my god, man. If y'all ain't seen the first video, go check it out. A lot of the things that I was talking about would make a lot more sense if you watched it. But I'm almost at my 15-minute mark. So doses.